This is a suicide forest. This video is not for everyone. There is a forest in Japan where people go to end their lives. It's a dark, quiet place with no phone reception and no connection to the outside world. The people that come here leave behind a string to guide them out.
Hey, fellow explorers, today I'm taking you to one of the Earth's most mysterious and mind-blowing natural wonders, the Dead Sea. Nestled between Israel and Jordan, this legendary salt lake isn't just a bucket list destination, it's a living paradox full of strange science, ancient stories, and jaw-dropping views. First up, location. The Dead Sea sits at the lowest point on Earth, over 400 meters below sea level. That's like stacking the Eiffel Tower on top of itself and still being underground. It's fed mainly by the Jordan River, but with the desert heat and barely any outflow, the water evaporates faster than you can say float. That's why it's so salty, almost 10 times saltier than the ocean. Here's the wild part, you literally can't sink. The water is so dense with minerals you float like a rubber duck. It's one of those surreal travel moments, like you're reading a book just chilling while bobbing on the surface. But trust me, don't get that water in your eyes. It stings like crazy. The Dead Sea isn't just about floating though. It's a place packed with ancient secrets. People have been coming here for thousands of years. Egyptian queens, Roman emperors, and anyone searching for healing. The mud and water are loaded with minerals like magnesium and potassium, which is why you'll see travelers slathering themselves in black mud, hoping for that spa day glow. But here's the twist, the Dead Sea is shrinking. Climate change, water diversion from the Jordan River, and mineral extraction have all taken a toll. Its surface area has dropped by a third in the past half-century. So if you want to see it, the clock's ticking. And let's not forget the stories. Some say this was the site of biblical cities like Sodom and Gomorrah. Whether you're a history buff, a science geek, or just love a good legend, the Dead Sea is packed with mysteries waiting to be uncovered. So why visit? For the landscapes that look out of this world. For that once-in-a-lifetime float, for the sense of wonder that comes from standing at the edge of history, 400 meters below the rest of the planet. If you're after a destination that's equal parts science story and pure spectacle, the Dead Sea delivers. So pack that sunscreen and get ready for an adventure you'll never forget.
Pitcairn Island, where only 50 people live, hidden deep in the vastness of the South Pacific Ocean, lies one of the world's most remote and mysterious inhabited places, Pitcairn Island. With a population of fewer than 50 people, this volcanic island offers a rare glimpse into life in near total isolation. It's a place where community, survival, and history are deeply intertwined. Pitcairn is over 5,000 kilometers from New Zealand and accessible only by sea. The island is part of a small group: Pitcairn, Henderson, Ducie, and Eno, but only Pitcairn is inhabited. There's no airport, no regular ferry, and no nearby neighbors. Supplies arrive a few times a year, and communication is limited to satellite internet and radio. Despite its size, just 47 square kilometers, Pitcairn holds immense historical and cultural weight. The only settlement, Adamstown, is home to the entire population, all of whom are either related or know each other closely. Pitcairn's modern history began in 1790, when mutineers from the HMS Bounty, led by Fletcher Christian, arrived with several Tahitian men and women. They had overthrown their captain, William Bligh, in one of the most famous mutinies in British naval history. Seeking refuge, the group burned the Bounty and vanished from the world. Conflict between the Europeans and Tahitians led to violence and death. By the time British ships rediscovered the island in the early 1800s, only one mutineer, John Adams, was still alive, raising a new generation of children with the remaining women. Today's Pitcairn is a quiet, close-knit community where everyone plays multiple roles: farmer, engineer, council member, nurse, or teacher. Residents grow their own food, fish for sustenance, and rely heavily on rainwater and solar energy. There's one school with a handful of students, a church, a communal freezer, and a general store that opens just a few times a week. The island speaks Pitcairn, a unique Creole language blending English and Tahitian, and most residents belong to the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which deeply shapes community life. Living on Pitcairn is not easy, Its remoteness makes healthcare, education, and trade difficult. The population has steadily declined as younger generations leave for better opportunities abroad, often to New Zealand. In recent years, the island has tried to attract new settlers with land and housing incentives, but few are willing to embrace such an isolated life. In the early 2000s, Pitcairn was rocked by serious sexual abuse scandals that revealed disturbing practices within the small community. Multiple men, including leaders, were convicted. This led to greater legal oversight from Britain and a re-evaluation of Pitcairn's governance, culture, and independence. Pitcairn is a British overseas territory, though it has its own elected mayor and local council. The British government provides significant financial support, overseeing justice, healthcare, and infrastructure.
Did you know the world's oceans cover over 70% of our planet? But it's not just one big watery expanse, it's 5 distinct oceans, each with its own personality. Let's take a quick world tour and dive into what makes each of the 5 oceans unique. First up, the Pacific Ocean. It's the largest and deepest, stretching from Asia to the Americas. Imagine standing at the edge of the Mariana Trench, where the ocean floor drops down nearly 36,000 feet. The Pacific is also home to thousands of islands, coral reefs, and some of the world's most powerful currents. Next, there's the Atlantic Ocean. It separates the Americas from Europe and Africa, and it's famous for its busy shipping lanes and the legendary Bermuda Triangle. The Atlantic is where you'll find the Sargasso Sea, a mysterious region with floating seaweed, totally unique in the world's oceans. The Indian Ocean is a bit warmer and more tropical. It's bordered by Africa, Asia, and Australia, and it's the world's main highway for trade between the East and the West. Monsoons shape life here, and it's a hotspot for marine biodiversity from coral reefs to rare whales. Let's head south to the Southern Ocean. This one circles Antarctica and is the youngest, officially recognized only in the year 2000. Its frigid waters drive global currents and influence our climate in ways you might not expect. Last but not least, the Arctic Ocean. It's the smallest and shallowest, covered in ice for much of the year. Despite its harsh conditions, it's bursting with life. Think polar bears and narwhals. So the next time you look at a map, remember, each ocean has its own story, shaping life on Earth in ways. Imagine a place where lizards swim, birds have blue feet, and giant tortoises rule the land. Yeah, it's real. Let's set sail to the Galápagos Islands, floating 600 miles off Ecuador's coast in the Pacific Ocean. This volcanic archipelago is made up of 13 big islands, 6 smaller ones, and dozens of islets, each with its own jaw-dropping secrets. Charles Darwin showed up here in 1835, and what he saw, finches with different beaks, swimming iguanas, and creatures found nowhere else, totally changed science forever. The Galapagos are basically evolution's playground. It's not just about the odd animals, though. Volcanic landscapes paint the horizon, with black lava rocks, pristine beaches, and crystal-clear waters teeming with life. Want to snorkel with sea lions or spot a penguin at the equator? Only in the Galapagos. Every island has its own vibe. Santa Cruz is home to the famous giant tortoises. Hispaniola boasts blue-footed boobies doing goofy mating dances. And Fernandina? That's where you'll meet the only marine iguanas on Earth, actual swimming lizards. But this fragile paradise is tightly protected. Strict rules keep it wild, so only a handful of visitors are allowed at a time. The Galapagos remind us how weird, wonderful, and precious our planet really is. So whether you're a wildlife nerd, a hiking addict, or just love nature's mysteries, the Galapagos Islands will blow your mind. These islands aren't just a destination, they're a living, breathing story, millions of years in the making.
Imagine living in a town where the sun never sets, or never rises. So, does a place like this actually exist? Well, not exactly. But there are towns in the far north, think Norway, Alaska, or northern Canada, where the sun stays up for months in summer, and then disappears for weeks or even months in winter. It's called the midnight sun and polar night. But it's never truly always day or night all year round. The extreme daylight or darkness is just for a part of the year, thanks to the tilt of the Earth. So you won't find a place where it's midnight or midday forever. But if you visit during the right season, you can experience a sunset that lasts for weeks or a night sky that stretches on for months. It's not a permanent thing, but it's absolutely magical and totally real. So next time someone says there's a town with endless day or night, you'll know the real story. ready to chase the sun.
You need to hear this if you're an adventurer tired of the Tokyo crowds. Japan's best-kept urban secrets are calling. Let's go off the beaten path, together. First up, Kanazawa. Forget Kyoto's crowds. Kanazawa has Samurai District's gold leaf ice cream and a garden ranked among Japan's best. Wander ancient streets and you might feel like you've stepped into a time machine. Next, Hakodate. Perched on Hokkaido's southern tip, this port city is famous for panoramic night views. Honestly, one of the best cityscapes in Japan. Don't skip the morning market, fresh seafood, local vibes, and a break from tourist traps. Have you heard of Takamatsu? It's the gateway to Japan's art island, Noshima. But Takamatsu itself charms with Riverside Castle's cycling routes and the world's prettiest udon noodles. Now, let's detour to Kurashiki. This city blends Edo-era canals with indie boutiques and street art. Rent a bike cruise through white-walled alleys and hunt for hidden coffee shops. And finally, Beppu. Adventure? How about hot springs that look like alien planets? Steam rises from colorful hells, and you can even cook your own food in geothermal heat. So, skip the usual suspects. Japan's lesser-known cities are packed with wild stories, breathtaking scenes, and untapped adventures. Ready to trade tourist lines for secret finds? Hit subscribe, and let's get lost. On purpose.
What I wish I knew before visiting Damnoen Saduak. It's not just a market, it's a way of life, colorful, loud, and absolutely delicious. Ready to hop on a boat with me? Damnoen Saduak isn't just a place to shop. It's a front row seat to local Thai culture. Glide down narrow canals as vendors paddle by, selling everything from tropical fruits to sizzling noodle bowls right off their boats. Smell the sweet mango, hear the calls of friendly sellers, and feel the buzz of hundreds of boats bumping along. Want authentic souvenirs? Skip the touristy trinkets and grab handmade crafts or fresh coconut ice cream. Trust me, your taste buds will thank you. So, if you're craving a real slice of Thai life, set your alarm early, grab your hat, and get ready to float through history at Damnoen Saduak. You'll leave with more than just photos, you'll leave with story. Imagine a forest so dense sunlight barely touches the ground. That's Aokigahara, Japan's infamous sea of trees, stretching out at the foot of Mount Fuji. On the surface, it's breathtaking. A tranquil landscape shaped by ancient lava, tangled roots, and a lush, vibrant green. But there's something else here, something that gives even the bravest explorers pause. For centuries, Aokigahara has been wrapped in myth and mystery. Legends whisper of spirits wandering between the trunks, and eerie silences broken only by the wind. Some say compasses spin wildly here, thanks to the volcanic rock beneath your feet. Others claim the forest never gives up its secrets. But Aokigahara is known for more than just ghost stories. It's a place both beautiful and tragic. Its reputation as Japan's suicide forest has drawn attention worldwide. So much so that signs at the entrance urge visitors to think of their families and to seek help. It's a sobering reminder of the struggles many face, and the importance of compassion. Yet there's another side to this forest. Hikers and nature lovers flock here for the serene beauty, the caves of ice and wind, and the rare plants that thrive in the volcanic soil. It's a place where silence feels sacred, and every path tells a story. Aokigahara is a paradox, peaceful, yet haunted by history, inviting, but never entirely safe. It asks us to look beneath the surface to see both its wonder and its warning. And maybe, just maybe, to find our own meaning in the silence between the trees. Thanks for watching.